Hello guys, it's your humble servant Tochi once again, and we are here in Tochi's Graphic Academy. In this tutorial, I'm doing my best to help you with the ways that you can blend colors. Okay, it is a fundamental requirement that as a graphic designer, you know how to blend colors and then avoid creating harassing designs. So I hereby introduce you to the concept color harmony. It is actually a principle that shows color pairing that agrees with each other. And then to achieve this color harmony, it is through a number of color schemes. But in this video, I will present to you about 6 of them. Okay, so guys, if you are ready, we move into the task. So the first thing is you launch your PixelLab application. Okay, so once it opens, you clear the test. All right. Now let me touch on this. Color blend actually begins from a particular color. That's your foundation color. And so you need to get that color before you delve into blending into finding other colors. Okay, so where do you get that color from? You get that color from the images that you may use in your design. So you get that from maybe the paramount image that you may use. So you choose that color, then you move into how to get other colors that will harmonize with it. Okay, so let's move on. Now the second thing I want to touch on is the color blending goes for these purposes. Now we blend color for backgrounds. That is using it to form gradient colors. We also use it on shapes. We also use it on text, and then finally we use it on images. That is when you want to tone their hues to blend with the backgrounds. But in this video, I will just focus on background and text. You can apply the background concept to shapes and then the image blending. All right, so let's move straight in. The first thing is to lead you to the setup. How is the setup? So the first thing is to go to the background button. So if you are designing a gradient color for the background, you go here. So you choose the color part. I've explained this, but let me take a minute to just brush through them. See, this button here helps you to choose a single color. So you just tap on the color and then you are good to go. Every color you tap applies. Now, if your color is not here and you want to choose, you just tap on this button, the create button, then you make choice of your color. So anywhere you tap, it is chosen. But you can treat it using these tones as I explained in the other video. Now, let's move on to the gradient part. So here is my focus for this tutorial. You can choose any of these gradient colors. I've told you that gradient is a combination of more than one color. Okay, so if your choice is not here, you want to create yours, you just tap on this place. And then, all right, I've told you the explanation to this interface. The buttons here provides you with several orientations as to where the color should be positioned. Now you can manually do it by just tapping on the circular buttons and then moving it in the direction you choose. Now let's come here. Now this button here, it is selected. You looking at the lower part, it's having that V shape, which is colored gold, and the gold means it is selected. So if you want to pick a color for this part, you just tap on it and it's selected. You tap on this, you see this one is selected now. So you tap on it, make your choice. How do you make a choice of a color? You go to this button and tap it. That's the paint pick color. So let's say you go there and then you pick your color. Now, the main business, color blending. So let's say you are blending a color. The first color scheme I'm presenting you to is the monochromatic. Now the monochromatic starts from a color. So you choose a single color and then afterwards you use the idea you have in saturation and value to tone them. Either you lighten them or you deepen them to create other colors. So let's say we want to form red. We just choose red here. Now let me explain something here. Looking at the color wheel we have, this is the primary color of pigment. So you have, looking at this color wheel, we have it as the primary color of light. So we have the primary ones being blue, green, and then red. Now between this one you have yellow. Between this one you have magenta. That is a family of purple or violet. Now between these ones you have cyan. That is blue green. Good. Now let's look at it critically. You can see an imaginary line passing through here. Yeah. And there too. And then there too. Okay, so if you want to pick blue, you need to follow that pattern. Make sure you underline. That is exact blue. If you want yellow, follow that line. If you want red, follow that line. If you want the cyan, you follow that line. If you want this, you follow that line. Take note of that. So let's say you want red, you follow the line and then send it to the later part. You come here to pull it to the wall so that it will be exact yellow, red, sorry. So you choose it and then there is selected. So you go to this other button, and since you want to form monochromatic, it is the same color that you pick. So you switch it to the same red, and then now you control its tone. And so you either use the value to make it a shade. You see, now you form a color which is darker and then brighter at one end. Now you can use this to just alter it or show how it should be oriented. Good. So there you go. So once you are done choosing your color and presenting it properly, you just tap on this OK, then it is chosen. As you can see, very nice. You can apply this using a different color. So if say blue, you can do same here. Then tap on the other end, then you choose the same blue by you deepen it or you lighten it. Good. Now that is that. So that is how to use the monochromatic. Now we go to the next one, which is the analogous colors. Now the analogous talks of colors which are next to each other. So the colors which follow each other on the color wheel. Now let me chip this in. Using the color wheel from this end makes it a little bit complex for beginners, and so I would advise you download a color wheel image. So let me guide you with that. So just go back, then you add an image. So you just tap here, you add an image from the gallery. I have one color wheel image here which I want to use. And so this one, the colors are well presented here, and you can see this one is primary color of pigment, as the primary ones are yellow, blue, and red, instead of green, blue, and red. So you are good to go. Once you have them like this, you can move on. So let's continue. Now we are forming the analogous, which is colors next to each other. So you just start from a color. So let's say if it is yellow, now you can choose the yellow for the first part. You go to the next part, say color next to it. So this is yellow, and you go to next to it, either to the left or to the right. You understand? So if it is to the left, that is anti-clockwise, you just tap that, and that is orange. You choose it, and then there you go. You just set the orientation here. Now this button here switches the colors, as I've explained in the other video. Now let me introduce you to this button. This button adds another color. So once you tap it, you can see what's happening. So if you want to repeat this orange color here, you select it, then you tap on plus. It adds an orange and it situates it between the two. If you want to select a yellow, you tap on this and then you tap on add. If you want to delete it, you select the actual color you want to delete, then you tap on the minus sign, then it goes off. Take note of that. Okay, so as I was saying, the analogous, there you go with it. Very nice. Let's form another one. So let's say color next to, so we choose maybe red. Then we choose a color next to red. So in this direction, we are good to go. And that is it. So we have that as a nice color there. If you want to alterate it, that depends on you. Please interact with it and get other forms of colors out of it. Okay. For instance, you want to pick from the color wheel you imported, and so you just, instead of picking your colors from here, you just want to pick from the downloaded image. So you tap on this pick option here. You see, I told you in the other video that when you come to the pick option, the images will be shown in boxes here. So you tell yourself which image do you want to choose from. So if it is the color view, at first it was selecting this one, so you just switch it. Select the color view, then it comes. So which color do you want to pick? Let's say colors next to each other. So I want to pick these. So I want to start from this one. Then the next color is, go to the same place. Then the next color is this one. So you pick it. There you go. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. If you want to add another one, you can just add. I will use this to teach something here. So let's say you add another color and then you pick it. Now the color you are picking is from here to the next. Now you are here. So you pick this color. Now look at something happening here. On the color view, you could see that this one was first, then to this one, then red was at the end. But looking at the presentation, the red is now in the middle, which is not the proper order. So once this one appears, the next thing should be this one. So you switch them, you move, then you switch them, their position. So this one comes in the middle, then this one goes to the end. This one tones perfectly. So compare the one we formed. This one was the initial one, then this is the new one. So make sure whenever you are blending colors, make sure that the order is there. It flows through the same order. Don't make them switch their positions. Try this one and see. You see that it's not working. So make sure you blend them perfectly. All right, let's move on. So that is that for the analogous colors. You go for the triadic colors. Now the triadic colors form a triangle on the color view. So let me add a shape here and help you with that. So for instance, if I have this shape triangle here, then let me add a stroke. Sorry. So you have this triangle here, as you can see. Colors which form triangle on the color view. So as you can see, then we have orange there. Then we have, there is yellow, orange. We have that and that. Good. Now they are equidistant from each other. That is, see, there are three colors between. So they are equidistant, and that is triadic colors. So you can just switch them and have can switch them and have, yes, you can have this yellow with the blue and red. So let's try and form that and see. So we go back to the background, we make choice of the color. Now we pick the first one is red. So it was yellow, blue, red. It can be this, that. So any of them goes. So let's choose this one and see. So orange first. The next one is so orange, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. So the next is blue. Move on. Then the last one is 1 to this side. So 1 2 3. So you go to this one. Okay. So that is that. As you can see, you have blended it perfectly here. Now, one thing I want to tell you is whenever you use these triadic colors, look at their conformation. Normally, red is linked with yellow, and so the blue should go at the end. Then you have it this way, so that the red will delve into yellow, and then mostly yellow, because of its lightness, it should always be at the end. That's why if you bring it here, it distorts. So you need to send it at the end. So I think this one is better. This one is better. So don't forget that I've told you that yellow and red, they have that kind of bond. And so they mostly are close to each other. It is because they are bright colors here or warm colors. So you can see from this end through, from this end, how will let me fix it. So you can see from this end here through to this part, you can see that they are all bright or warm colors, and it's like red is blending into yellow. So they have that relation. Okay, now let's move on to the concept of tetradic colors. Now, tetradic colors form a quadrilateral, that is four-sided figure. So let me add a four-sided figure to this. Now let's see how it works. So they are in this form. Good. Something like this. Very neat. And so you can see that these four colors here are tetradic. And when you turn them, you can have these four colors to be tetradic. These four colors too are tetradic. You understand? So let's try forming one and see. So you just choose two colors with an interval in them. Then you count 1, 2, 3 as a space. Then the next is tetradic. The next color is chosen, then a space comes, and you see that they form that four-sided figure on. You form that four-sided figure, then you go. Okay, so with that as our choice, let's try forming it and see. So select this one, go and pick your color. So it's this one, that one, this one, and that one. So let's go one, pick the first one, go, pick the second one. So you select this one, choose this one too. There we are going, we are moving speedily. Okay, so you add another one because you need 4. These are 3 buttons, so you need to add another one. So you just tap on add. Then don't forget the other one should be at the end, so you bring this one in. Then you make your choice. So there is it. Good. Now you tone them and make them equidistant from each other. There you go. Okay. I think this is very nice. So that is that. As you can see there, it's a well-formed background here. You can tone it. That one depends on your own switches. So you just set an orientation that you want. Any orientation goes. There you go. This is also nice. Okay. Now, let's move on to the complementary colors. Now, the complementary uses colors which are opposite each other, directly opposite each other. Now, for the nature of the complementary colors, you let me form one and then you see. So we want 2 colors here, so we just delete this one. So let's make our first choice. So let's say we pick yellow here. Now, what color complements the yellow? So it's just directly opposite the yellow. You can pick this. This is a neat color, but if it is upset on your eye, it's not looking so good. So what you do is you just dim one. You make one dominate. So you just dim one so that the yellow will dominate. Or like otherwise, you can dim the yellow so that the blue dominates. That's how we treat it. Normally, the complementary colors, making use of them, if you use them in their fullness, you have a problem. So normally, it is used for logos, or that's why simply as a beginner, you should go more with the neutral colors. That's where black is good on white surface and all that. So I'll talk about that later. So mostly you need to faint them a little so that they can blend. Okay, now other way of solving this is using the split complementary. So if it is complementary color that you want, let's say if it is red, now you choose a red. How will red, you see this color is blending so much, so let me just test you. How or why are they blending so well? You see where red is, you can see blue is next to it. So if you are supposed to take them in their three forms, so it's a red, green, and then blue, only these three, it means that red is next to blue, and that is analogous. So red is next to blue, so that's why they are blending perfectly. Okay, so that was just by the way. We move on. So after picking the red, you choose the next one, that is for the complement. So you choose red here, and the complements with the one directly opposite with it. It will be absurd. So what you do is you pick the color that is near it, or so if it's not directly, you can just tone it down, or you pick the split complement, so the one next to it. So if it is this one, the one next to it, to either the blue or the middle of the blue, you see it's blending perfectly. If not that, either the green or between here. Understand? Either this or between here. It is next to the chan. I think this one too is blending well. Now, if you don't want it from here, you want to choose from there. So since it is red, we are supposed to choose green, but I'm talking of split complementary. That is to solve the issue. So you need to pick the one next to it. So either this one or that one, or any of these one, the ones next to it. So let's pick this one and see. See, it is blending perfectly. Take note of that. So that is how we use that split complementary. Now, how do we add text? How do we add text? Now, let's say you have this as your background. Now let's add a text. Let's say TGA. Now you enlarge it. Now, what I want to chip in is, now in using text or applying text to surfaces, you make sure that you use this concept that warm colors goes with cool colors. That is, if your text is a warm colored text, then you should place it on a cool colored background. Take note. So looking at this background, it is red orange, which is a warm color. Looking at it is from this region. So we need to get a text, either it being neutral. Normally neutral goes for all surfaces. So white can go, black can go. I've told you the neutral colors: black, white, and then 8 tones like ash and all that. So that one goes for mostly all surfaces. Now, what color goes with this will blend with this one. You can use any of the concepts we did. You can use monochromatic, you can use analogous. So if you want to get a color that will blend well with this red orange, you can go to the red orange. You choose a color next to it, maybe red. You can choose a color next to it like this one. You can choose a color opposite to it, then you split. That is for the split complementary. You can choose a color that forms a triangle with it. You can choose a color that forms a square with it. Any of the schemes I taught. And so now let's come back here. You want to have a color that will blend with it perfectly. So this one is, the background is red orange from here, so we can choose a color in this opposite concept. So this tells you that we need to employ the complementary. You understand? So when you select it, what color complements with red orange? So this is red orange. You can see that blue complements with it because it's already opposite to it. So we can choose blue there. Go to test here. Then we choose blue for it. Good. So we choose blue for it. So red, orange, choose blue for it. You understand? So it's working. Now, since this one is bright, you can decide to darken the blue to make it appear well. So you can darken the blue so that it appears well on it. So that is that. If it is, let's have a different background here. For instance, if it is a green background, let's say this is green. So green, what color blends with green? Looking in front here, it is red. So we can tone the red and see. So let's pick. Now, take note. You see, this one selected the background option. So this is the background button. So we want to edit text. So if you want to edit text and we want the options for editing text, you still have the button of background selected. So the options here is not for text. So come and select text. Take note, select text before you can deal with it. And you go to the color, and then what do we want? We want to choose a color opposite. So it's red and it's feather colors. So you can have red here, red, and it's feather color. So you can choose orange there. Good. So it is blending well. It is accepting it perfectly. You can, if it is not good for you, you can just tone it down a little bit. Then good. Oh, you are good to go. So guys, this is simply how we blend colors. You can use it to form genius color concepts, and then you'll be amused with the kind of concepts you will create. All right, so I'll conclude here, and then have a nice day. Bye-bye.